Welcome to this guided mindful stretching. It is designed to bring you into an awareness of your body and mind as you move through different poses. It is important to find a time when you can follow the instructions and not be interrupted, because this is a special time for you to be with yourself. It is also important to follow along with the instruction as best you can, doing what you feel capable of, and refraining from anything that seems not appropriate for you at this time. Let your own sensitivity to your body override the instruction, such as how long to hold any positions. It's important to be aware of these limits and to dwell at the boundary long enough to experience them, but it is just as important not to push beyond them. If you choose to skip any poses that we are doing, just allow your body to assume a comfortable position, closing your eyes and visualizing doing what the instructions are describing in as much detail as possible. We're not trying to achieve any goals such as strengthening or becoming more flexible and even relaxing. We are simply learning to look deep into our body with full acceptance at each moment. So, for each stretch, we are paying attention to the body sensations such as tingling, pulling, tugging, hot feelings, or anything else. Just trying to notice what you are feeling as precisely as possible. You may keep your eyes open sometimes and closed other times, experimenting what your experience is like and how your level of attention varies. So here we are, lying on our backs. The legs are stretched out, slightly apart with the feet falling outwards. The arms are alongside the body with the palms facing up towards the ceiling, if that feels okay. If lying on your back is uncomfortable, just take a few moments to adjust your position. We are now lying on our back in this pose called corpse posture. And first we are bringing our attention to our breathing. What sensations are you aware of? Exactly where do you sense the air moving in your body? Perhaps your nostrils, chest, ribs, or belly? Rising on the in-breath and falling back down on the out-breath? We are simply observing our breath, and with each out-breath, allowing the body to release a little more, letting your body sink a little deeper into the floor, while noticing any sensations of tension or relaxation. And on your in-breath, acknowledging the energy and vitality that each breath is bringing into your body. With your next in-breath, we are slowly stretching our arms up over the head, using up the entire duration of your in-breath, and when the arms reach the floor, if they do, hold your breath just for the moment, while gently stretching along the whole length of your body, from the tips of the fingers, down into the arms, the head, neck, spine, and into the legs, all the way into the toes. And on the out-breath, releasing the stretch and allowing the arms to slowly come back down to the side of your body on the floor, using the entire duration of your out-breath. Once the arms have reached the floor, as best you can, letting go of your arms, letting them sink into the floor. Now let's do it again, slowly stretching our arms up over the head, and then bringing the arms back down to the side of the body. And when you're ready, we're doing it for the last time, slowly stretching our arms up over the head, and now bringing the arms back down. What we just did was to stretch our bodies slowly and mindfully so that we are in touch with our body sensations at each moment. And now we're back in lying position, taking a moment to be curious about the sensations we have now after the gentle stretch. What are we feeling in our fingers or back? What quality does it have? And when you're ready, focusing on our breath again to gather our minds. Now we are bringing both knees up to the chest and allowing your arms or hands to wrap around both knees, gently squeezing your knees up against your chest. On your next out breath, we're gently rocking our body from side to side, massaging the muscle in the back, both sides of your spine. We're just gently rolling side to side at your own pace. And when you're ready, releasing the knees and stretching out first one leg, then the other, so that the legs are back on the floor, shifting your attention to your breath again, while noticing the body sensations after this gentle movement. Now you're bringing your right knee up to the chest with both hands, leaving the left leg on the floor, stretching your left leg out flat as best you can. And when you're ready, gently bringing that right knee a little further up towards the chest, remembering to stay within your limits of comfort and noticing your breathing. On the next out breath, releasing the right knee and stretching the right leg back down to the floor. Breathing in, and then on the next out breath, bringing the left knee up to the chest, holding onto the knee with both hands, allowing the right knee to remain on the floor, gently bringing that left knee a little closer to the chest, feeling the stretch and breathing. Then on the next out breath, releasing the knee and stretching the left leg down to the floor, getting back into the corpse posture. Lying on your back, legs slightly apart and the arms resting alongside the body with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. In this position, we are paying attention to the body sensations we have at this moment after lifting knees up to the chest. How are your legs feeling? Exactly what are you feeling in your muscles after the stretches? Now we are paying attention to breathing, noticing the rise and the fall of the chest and the belly. And with each out breath, letting go of the legs, knees, and arms, and letting them sink a little deeper into the floor. Now when you're ready, we are rolling over onto one side and coming up onto all fours, resting on our hands and knees, with our hands underneath our shoulders, shoulder width apart, and the knees are underneath the hips, hip distance apart. In this position, we're breathing out and allowing the back to stretch up towards the ceiling, arching the back like a cat as high up as it will go, while letting the head come down between the shoulders. Stretching the muscle between the shoulder blades, tilting the pelvis, and being aware of the sensations from this stretch called a cat stretch. In a moment or two, we're taking the breath in slowly while reversing the arch by lifting the head up and allowing the belly to gently come down to a slight arch in the opposite direction. Tilting the pelvis also in the opposite direction and feeling the stretch with this posture called table. And with your next out breath, allowing the head to come down again between the shoulders with the back arching up towards the ceiling, Just breathing and releasing into this stretch. And as you breathe in, slowly lifting your head up and allowing the back to come down and arching in the opposite direction. And once again, as you breathe out, lowering the head and arching the back up as high as it will go and stretching. Now releasing this stretch and allowing the back to come into a neutral position, still remaining on your hands and knees and being aware of any sensation that may be arising in this moment. If your wrists or the arms are reaching the limits in holding this posture, recognizing the boundary at this moment and adjusting your position so that you can follow with your mind the next posture we are about to do, which is still on our hands and knees. On the next out breath, stretching the right leg behind you, lifting it up as high as it will go comfortably, holding your head up and feeling the stretch and breathing easily. While keeping the right leg being stretched out behind you, you are now lifting your left arm up off the mat, stretching that arm out in front of you, breathing, balancing, and stretching. If you can, staying here for a few breaths, but remember that at any time you can gently release out of the pose, always remembering your own body's limits. Now releasing that right leg and that left arm, allowing them to come down underneath, down to the floor. And as you breathe out, stretching your back, doing the cat stretch and lengthening. And when you're ready, coming down to the neutral position and breathing. Then when you're ready, as you breathe out, lifting your left leg back behind you as high as it will go comfortably, and lifting your right hand off the floor, stretching the right arm in front of you, stretching and balancing and allowing the breath to move freely. Experiencing your body in this particular posture, just accepting any and all sensations in this moment as you are. Breathing in and out with your experiences and within your limits. And when you're ready, once again, lowering your leg and arm back on the mat and arching your back as before. Head down and getting a good stretch in the back without overdoing it, but just easing up to your own limits. Now allowing the back to come into a neutral position, breathing freely, and when you are ready, we are returning to lying on our backs on the floor in a corpse posture. Stretching the legs out, feet falling away from each other, and allowing the arms to rest alongside the body with the palms facing up to the ceiling. Noticing the body sensations after the stretches that we just did. What are you feeling? What exactly is the body sensation that you're feeling right now? Where are you feeling the most? We're taking time here to breathe for a moment. And when you're ready, we're doing a half bridge pose. So first, with your next out breath, bending the knees, placing the feet flat on the floor. The knees will be looking up towards the ceiling and the feet will be hip distance apart. Allowing the arms to rest alongside the body, but this time the palms facing down towards the floor. On your next out breath, lifting the buttocks off the floor as high as they will go comfortably. Lifting just your pelvis and the lower back off the floor, resting on the back of your head, neck, shoulders, arms and feet. The rest of your body is arched, and just breathing here for a few moments. And if you need to come down before I say to, allow the back to return to the floor, taking the responsibility for coming down when you need to, knowing your limits and doing this in your own way, and experiencing the body sensations as you mindfully position your body. If you're still holding up in this pose, experiencing the sensations of being in this particular posture for a few moments, experiencing the sensations in the back of your thigh and the buttocks as they tense and work to hold this pose. And now allowing the back to come back down to the floor, gently releasing out of the stretch and releasing the knees so that the both legs return to lying on the floor. Being present in this moment and noticing any tension you might be feeling in the thighs or anywhere else, and with each out breath letting go as best you can, allowing the body to sink in a little deeper into the floor and allowing yourself to be here now, acknowledging any thought, emotion, or other body sensations, just letting them come and go in your mind. And instead of being swept away with thoughts and emotions, thereby injecting energy into them, just bringing your focus to your present experience and the fact that you are here on the mat and recognizing that you are nourishing yourself in this way. Now, when you're ready, we are going to do a simple twist stretch. So, bending your both knees, bringing your feet closer to your buttocks, keeping the knees close together and your feet close together, and stretching your arms on the floor straight out away from the torso so that they are at a right angle away from the body, palms facing down towards the floor, and breathing in and out a few times. Now with your next out breath, letting your knees move over gently to the right hand side as far as they go to the floor. The left foot will come off the floor and will be sitting on the top of your right foot. We are stretching your left side of the torso, and if your right knee touches the floor, that's fine. If not, wherever it stops. Your left knee may be touching or not touching your right knee. That's fine. We're not forcing it. Then on your next out breath, turning your head to look over towards the left shoulder and down towards the left hand, feeling the twist in your torso, the stretch across your chest, the armpit, or wherever you feel it. Breathing, lengthening and softening and resting here. We're just dropping into this posture and allowing gravity to pull you down. You're not resisting, but with each breath, letting go a little more and contributing to the stretch a little more. With your next in-breath, bringing the head to return to the original position, eyes looking up towards the ceiling, and bringing the knees back up so that the feet come back to the floor, knees pointing back up towards the ceiling. On the next out breath, keeping the knees together, allowing the knees to come over to the left hand side. And again, if your left knee touches the floor, that's fine. If not, wherever it comes to and feels right for you. Your right foot is simply sitting on top of your left foot, and with your next out breath, turning your head to the right so that you're looking over the right shoulder and down towards the right hand. With each breath, just settling into this posture, letting the body fall into the floor straight down, and feeling the stretch in this moment as you accept the stretch and accept your body being in this position. Bringing a full awareness to your breathing, to your body, and any and all sensations you're experiencing in this position at this moment. And when you're ready, allowing the head to come back with eyes returning to looking up towards the ceiling, and then bringing the knees back to an upright position, feet on the floor, with the knees pointing directly up towards the ceiling. And on your next out breath, stretching the legs out, back on the floor, and bringing the arms back to rest along the body and resuming the corpse posture, palms facing up. We are resting here for a few moments, breathing and noticing any and all the consequences of the body twist that we just did. Now on the next out breath, bending the left knee up and placing the left foot flat on the floor and taking a deep breath in, and as you breathe out without using your hands, lifting your right leg up with the knee straight off the floor as high as it will go, if possible all the way to the ceiling perpendicular to the floor, but if not, just wherever you wind up is fine. That's exactly where you are supposed to be right now. We are maintaining this posture while remembering your own limits, stretching, lengthening, and breathing. If you notice that your arms are getting involved in this posture by pushing the floor, or your shoulder getting tight, or your face becoming tense, just recognizing their involvement, but realizing that they are not part of this stretch, and letting go as best you can, and focusing on the belly or chest where you can sense your breath and breathing. If you would like, make a circle with your right ankle a few times in each direction and feel the muscles that are involved in this movement, perhaps even hearing the joint cracking. If you'd like to intensify this stretch even more, you can stretch out your left leg flat on the floor, or taking time and lifting your head up towards your right knee as you take hold of your right knee around the calf muscle with both hands and pulling the knee towards the chest, that way stretching the back as well. When you're ready, slowly letting your leg come down, taking your time, so when the leg finally touches the floor, paying attention to the sensation of release from the legs, abdomen, shoulder, and your entire body. Letting your left knee come down as well, and then as best you can, completely let go. Now we are reversing the legs, bending the right knee up, placing the right foot on the floor, then lifting the left leg up off the floor with a straight knee as high as feels comfortable for you, allowing the breath to move freely around the body and just settling into this posture, experiencing the leg stretch while softening the back, shoulder, arms, and your face. And if it feels all right, circling your foot around a few times in each direction. We are doing this stretch at your own pace and intensity. Anytime you sense the limits of your body, you can gently bring the left leg down, taking a few breaths and coming back up if you'd like. If you are doing the intense version of the stretch, gently stretching your right leg down and lifting your head while holding your left leg, bringing the knee close to your chest with your hands, feeling the stretch in the back of your thigh and your back as well. Whatever it is that you're doing, just being totally present, experiencing the sensations and feelings in the body as you have this leg up here. And when you're ready, slowly, inch by inch, letting your left leg come down to the floor, and the moment the leg touches the floor, paying attention to the sense of relief from your leg, abdomen, and the rest of your body that was supporting this posture, and letting go as you sink deeper into the floor. Now stretching out the right leg and bringing your awareness back to the belly and the sensation of your breath. full awareness of your in-breath and out-breath, completely aware of what you are experiencing right now in your body after this stretch. You are just lying here with your body as a whole and experiencing being. Now slowly rolling over to your left side and propping your head up with your left hand, the right hand resting on the floor in front of your belly, bending your left knee a little so that you can have a firm and a comfortable base. The right leg is resting on top of the bent left leg with your right leg straight. And for a moment, settling into this position and breathing. And when you're ready, with your next in-breath, slowly lifting your right leg up towards the ceiling, bringing it up as far as is comfortable for you at this moment, wherever it winds up, and feeling the stretch, breathing, perhaps closing your eyes so that you can really experience the feeling. You can even touch your leg and thigh and recognize what part of your leg is involved in this posture, perhaps noting that your buttocks are not involved in this stretch. And if you would like, circling your foot slowly but fully around the ankle a few times and switching the direction for another few circles. Then if you feel okay, you can increase the intensity by raising your leg a little higher, breathing and experiencing the intensity, but asking yourself if you can handle this in terms of your own body and your own limitations at this particular time. If you need to bring your leg down at any time, doing so mindfully and slowly to the level that is more comfortable, and if necessary, all the way down to the top of your left leg. Just breathing through the intensity at your own pace, and if you feel okay, you can bring it back up again. We are taking time to totally experience the stretch all the way from the moment you raise your leg off the floor to the moment when you slowly bring your leg down at your own pace and breathing. Now, lowering your right leg for the last time, stretching the right leg straight out, and after a couple of breaths, allowing the right knee to bend a little as you release the left hand from supporting the head. And as you allow the head to come back down to the floor, rolling back to your center position with your back fully on the floor and completely letting go. Just taking a moment or so to experience the body sensations right after this stretch. What are you feeling in your leg and thigh? Exactly where is it? What quality does it have? We are simply being present with our body at this moment. Now rolling to the right side of the body and propping your head with your right hand and placing the left hand in front of your belly, allowing the right knee to be slightly bent, securing your body and just settling into this position, experiencing the body and the mind. How is your mind taking the stretches? Is it reacting to it or responding to it? Just noticing any and all events in the body and the mind at this moment, without criticism or judgment, but simply being curious and open. With your next in-breath, lifting your left leg up with knees straight up as far as it will comfortably go, and if you would like, circling your left foot around the ankle a few times in each direction and feeling the stretch and breathing. Again, if you feel up to it, raising the left leg a little more, working within your own limits and in a comfortable range. And now slowly allowing that left leg to come back down to the floor until it is resting gently on top of the right leg. Then bending the left leg a little and releasing the right hand from the head and allowing the head to come back down to the floor, and then slowly rolling back to your center position with your back flat on the mat. And noting any and all body sensations as a consequence of this stretch, and breathing. When you're ready, rolling over to your stomach, turning your head to one side or the other with your arms alongside of your body with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. In this position, we are feeling the belly pressing into the floor each time we breathe in and softening when we breathe out, allowing the whole body to just sink into the floor, head, shoulders, arms, the back, the pelvis, legs, just falling into the floor and letting the floor hold you up. From this position, we are lifting the head and bringing the forehead and the chin to the floor, allowing the eyes to look down. Bringing the legs together, and on the next out breath, without using the arms or hands, lifting the right leg with the knees straight, up off the floor, with the right hip remaining on the ground, allowing the breath to flow freely. You may want to inspect your right buttock and the back area with your right fingers, recognizing how these muscles are working hard to lift the weight of your right leg. And just breathing, feeling and experiencing lifting your leg in this posture in this moment. And when you're ready, slowly letting your right leg come down, turning your head to one side and completely letting go as best you can. Your side of the face is sinking into the floor, the chest, belly, thighs, knees, and legs, all just falling into the floor a little deeper as you breathe in and out. And now we are lifting the chin up off the floor once again, allowing the eyes to look downwards, and then lifting the left leg up off the floor, allowing the left hip to remain on the floor, arms and the face completely soft, stretching the left leg as best you can, letting your back work to lift your left leg. And when you're ready, slowly releasing the left leg and returning it to the floor. And when the leg has reached the floor completely, letting go and turning the head to one side. Now, as we breathe here, we are noticing the body sensations after this stretch, the location of the sensations, the quality, and the intensity. Perhaps the sensations change as we focus on them. Does it become stronger? Does it disappear? Now, after a few breaths, we are slowly lifting the head, the neck, and the shoulder off the floor as best you can, not using the hand, and lengthening the back of the neck, releasing into this pose called lower cobra, with no hands and using only the trunk muscles and allowing the spine to be long and breathing. And when you're ready, after an in-breath, breathing out and very slowly allowing the shoulders, the neck, and the head to return to the floor, turning the head to one side and releasing and softening and allowing the breath to move freely. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your back, stretching out the legs, allowing the arms to rest alongside the body, and allowing the palms to face towards the ceiling. And we are now settling into the corpse posture again. We are now finishing up the mindful stretches by breathing and releasing, being aware of this lying position, and if it feels okay, allowing the eyes to close, noticing any thoughts or sensations that may be present, or the memories of what we have asked our body to do up to this point. And just being here, centered and focused, bringing our attention to the breath. On each exhalation, releasing and settling into this posture, riding the waves of each breath, sinking deeper into the floor with each out breath, and into the state of mindful stillness. We are now in this special stillness of being aware of things as they are, the experience of your body as a whole. And as this instruction nears an end, you might congratulate yourself for allowing yourself the time to be with your body in this way, stretching and working with your body and the mind. We are now a little more aware of our body, with gentle openness to accept our body and the mind and life itself. Recognizing the fullness and the depth of each moment. Lying here, centered and balanced right now. And knowing that we are whole and complete as we are, as our lives continue to unfold from moment to moment.